Hi, I'm Friedman. I'm a Pilates instructor at Park Center Health and Fitness in Glenview, and today I'm going to guide you through an intermediate Pilates mat. If you have a hardwood floor at home, you may find that 2 yoga mats is a little more cushioned than just 1. If you're on carpeting, you'll probably be fine. Just make sure that your space is relatively clear. You only need enough room to lie down on your mat, have your arms out to the side or overhead. If you've got room to clear stuff, then you're great. Keep your body safe, listen to your body. If there are any exercises that don't agree with you today, then you can feel free to skip them or modify or do your own thing for a little while and then join us again when you're ready. Okay, so I'm going to start with the traditional way that you get down onto the mat. Again, if you have issues, especially with the lower part of the body, hips, knees, ankles, feel free to get down on your mat as gracefully as possible. But traditionally, we stand at one end of the mat, cross one foot over, and sit down as smoothly and gracefully as possible, and then lie down. I like to start with just a little stretch before we go into the hundreds. So just inhale up and back through the arms, keep your back anchored on the mat, and exhale as you come around. You want to make sure your neck is nice and long. The goal here is to keep scooping the abdominals so that your back is nice and long and anchored on the mat. You want to bring your chin down just slightly, so you're keeping the neck long and in line with the spine, and then we'll go the other way. As you're reaching, inhale, energy out through the fingers and the palms, nice, strong, long arms. You're keeping your shoulders away from your ears so that you are anchored into the mat and engaging your arms into the powerhouse, and we'll do that one more time. And come down. Now we're going to give the neck a little stretch, so bring your chin to your chest, curl up and reach forward. And lower back down. If you have issues with your neck, you can always do this with your hands stacked behind your head if that feels better to your body. Again, listen to your body, give it what it needs, and you just want to do a couple of those to stretch up through the neck and scoop more deeply into the abdominals. And come back down. Then we're going to move on into the hundreds. This is a non-impact warm-up for the body. Hug your knees into your chest. Just give them a little stretch. So if you have any issues with your knees at all, holding behind the thighs is safer so that you're not wailing on your knee joint. Otherwise, holding shins or ankles is fine. Press the arms firmly into the mat. Feel those upper arms engage. Lift the chin to the chest. Curl up to the shoulder blades. Extend your legs out on an angle and squeeze those inner thighs. Pump the arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. In through the nose. Out through the nose. You want a good 6 to 8 inch pump. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is your 5th one. Exhale. Now you can do 5 more at any time. If you start to feel like you lose your form, then just put your head down and rest. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 8. Exhale, 2, 3. You've got 2 more. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, see if you can lower your legs, but keep your back on the mat. Last set. Inhale. Exhale. And hug the knees into the chest. Give it a stretch and lower your neck down. We're going to go into the roll-up. In the intermediate level, you're going to try to do this with straight legs if you can. If you need to bend your knees a little bit or hold on to the legs, that's fine. Reach the arms up. Give yourself a nice stretch, only as far as you keep your back on the mat. Inhale, lift the head through the window of the arms. Exhale, keep pulling your abs back. Let the fingertips reach without resting and stretch your lower back. Roll back down and anchor the spine and reach. You can add these bigger stretches in between if you'd like. Inhale to lift the head. Exhale, scooping the abdominals, reaching the top of your head towards your knees. Inhale on the way back down, rolling your body down 1 vertebra at a time into the mat and stretch. And we'll do this 3 more times. Imagine you're peeling your spine off the mat 1 vertebra at a time, like a long pearl necklace that you're picking up off the table from one end to the other. And then as you roll back down, you're going to put that pearl necklace back down 1 pearl at a time. And reach. And 1 more time. Up, inhale, scoop, exhale, and pull the stomach back the whole time. Don't let it go. And roll back down. And this time finish with your arms on the mat. We're going to go into the single leg circle. We'll do a little stretch first. Hug your knee into your chest. And then get your hands right behind the back of your thigh. Try to push that left hamstring down as much as possible and scoop the stomach down. We do a little stretch and bend. Nice long foot, toes reaching to the ceiling. And you can do 3 or 4 of these. Last one, just to warm up the hamstring and the hip. Now leave the leg, press the arms firmly down, make sure both hips are on the mat, and you're trying not to tuck, so get that left hamstring down. Little cross, around, center. So you cross the body, come around, center. We'll do 5. The goal is everything is very stable. 2 more, and you're only moving that right leg in the hip. This is a hip strengthening exercise. And pause, go the other way. Out, around, and up. Out, around, and up. Find that center every time. Foot right in the middle, in line with your nose and your navel. 1 more. And take it up and bend the knee and slide it down. Make sure you keep breathing the whole time. You don't want to hold your breath to do the exercise. Give it a little stretch on the left leg now. Now you can see if you overdo it, this thigh is going to pop up. So get it back down before you start the exercise. Get the hamstring as close to the mat as you can. Hold the back of your thigh, hips are nice and anchored. Exhale into your stretch. So here you want to feel more that you're pushing your thigh into your hands and not so much pulling your leg towards you. This is to let you stretch the hamstring completely. This is not as much about hip flexion. And then leave the leg, press the arms firmly down, nice and anchored across the shoulders. Rotate just a little. We're going to cross the midline of the body, circle, center. Inhale, exhale around. And your hip is nice and stable. You're just stirring the leg in the joint. Strengthening the left hip, stabilizing everything else, and pause. Now we go the other way. Inhale, exhale. And we generally do 5 or 6 of these. 2. Open, around and up, open, around and up. 1 more, open, around and up, and bend the knee and slide it down. So if you have a tight or tender lower back, the safest way to sit is to roll onto your side. And if you don't, just sit yourself up. We're going to go into rolling like a ball. Place your hands by your hips and lift your bottom to the front of the mat. So you have to use your muscles for that. You're not just dragging your seat. We're going to reach around. Again, fingers are always together. If your knees are not so great in terms of bending, hold behind the thighs. Otherwise, give your legs a big hug. Come up onto the tiptoes and pull your stomach in. If you have lower back issues, spinal issues, herniated discs, osteoporosis, sometimes arthritis in your spine, the rolling is not good for you because of pressure, but you can still work the balance. So just pull the stomach in and pick your tiptoes up. You want to lift your body up and over your knees and lower the feet back down. So this is just a very slight rocking back, and the movement comes from your stomach, from your powerhouse, and then come back down. And that's good for everybody to do first, just so you know your balance. And then, if you're adding on the full rolling like a ball, you're going to roll back and lift your bottom up, and then come back and find your balance. Ideally, you hit that spot without a lot of wiggle, right? You don't want to be moving around in your pelvis. Hold your shape. And come back. Nice long neck. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Scoop the abs to lift the hips, scoop the abs to come home and rest. Then you place your hands, you lift your hips back, and we lie down for the stomach series. You're all the way down on the mat. We're going to start with the single leg stretch. You can do all of these with your head down if you have issues with your neck, but know that lifting your head up is helping you strengthen your neck, which you want. Now we're going to lift the right knee up, curl up, right hand to the ankle, left hand below the knee. You're not pulling your foot down, you're pulling your leg to you. The other leg is in the air where you have to hold it from the back of your thigh, elbows wide. And switch. We're going to do 8, 2, and 2. So try to pull in like your knee is going to go to your ear. Just watch that you don't move your head when you do it. And 5, 5, and 6, 6 and 7, 7 and stretch those legs, 8. Pull both knees in and rest. Then we have the double leg stretch. We're going to start without the arm circles. We'll add them halfway through. Again, either holding behind the thighs, or if your knees are fine, shins or ankles, elbows nice and wide, but shoulders down. Exhale your air out. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, pull. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, pull. Inhale, stretch. Now if you'd like to add on the arms, they would come next. Inhale, exhale. You want to think long and narrow, reach out and around. Keep your head right where it is. Pull it in, one more. Inhale and exhale, and rest your neck down. Single straight leg is next. Take the right leg up. Either hold behind the thigh, or if you're a little more flexible, you can try to reach higher up, but don't let that knee bend. Take the other leg in the air, curl up, and switch. And switch. So try not to drop that other leg. Imagine you've got a big elastic band between your ankles, and you're trying to stretch them away. Stretch them away. If you can reach up and grab higher, you would, but don't let that knee bend. We're going to do 2 more. Keep your abs scooped in, always looking down towards the navel. And then take both legs up and rest your neck. So we have stacked hands, one on top of the other, right at the base of your skull. Anchor your shoulders so your elbows come up just a little bit. Now we want the heels right over the bottom. You want to make sure your hips aren't curled up. Nice right angle. Curl up into your stomach. Inhale a little out and exhale up. Inhale. Exhale. If you can squeeze those inner thighs together and keep your lower back down, you can try to go lower and come up. Inhale, exhale. Make sure they're not swinging. Reach them. Coming up. 2 more. Inhale, exhale. Last one. And then without a rest, we're going to go right into the crisscross. Twist, exhale, and twist, and twist, and twist, and rest. Come up to sitting for your spine stretch forward. Feet are going to be wider than your mat. You want to sit right up on top of your sits bones. Watch the pitfalls of rounding or tipping forward and arching your back. If you need to bend your knees a little bit, that's fine. The goal would be straight legs, flexed feet, and a straight spine. Reach your arms out in front of you. When your arms are shoulder width, and you lower to the mat, your hands should be right on the inside of your knees, and if they're not, move your legs. And now we reach. Nice and tall through the top of your head. This is a roll-up done from sitting. Chin to the chest, exhale. Just let your fingertips reach away from you and roll down your spine as low as you can without coming off your hips. And come back up and sit up tall. Exhale and round up and out of your lower back. Lifted C curve. And inhale and come back up. This is an exercise for stretching your lower back. Exhale, reaching away, top of the head towards the floor. And curl up tall. And 2 more. Exhale and stretch. And inhale and stack it up. Last one. Exhale and stretch. Inhale and lift. Now we go into the open leg rocker, just like rolling like a ball. If you don't roll like a ball because of back issues, then you wouldn't do that for the open leg rocker for the same reason, because it would be too much pressure on your spine. But you can work on your balance. So hold your hands on the inside of your ankles, come up to your tiptoes. You can keep your feet on the floor at first, but more challenging would be to hold the feet up. Keep the scoop in the body. Nice lifted C curve. Extend the right leg. Try to straighten your arm as much as you can and with as straight a leg as possible. So everybody can straighten their arms. You might not be able to straighten your leg. That's okay. And now we do the left. Your goal is to stay centered. And then we'll do that again. Right leg extends. Bring it in. Left leg extends. Bring it in. You ready to kick it up a notch? We do both legs. Extend and bend. and extend, and bend. So if your balance is challenging, that may be enough for you. If you're ready to move on, we have the open leg rocker. I'm just going to move forward to make sure I have room behind me. Always make sure your space is safe so you're not going to hit anything as you're moving around. We start with the legs up, and the open leg rocker is rolling like a ball with the legs extended. Put your hands behind where you can hold on. Try not to bend the arms and legs as much as possible. You lift the hips up, and you scoop and you bounce. And you lift your hips up, nice straight arms and legs, and you scoop to balance. So your head will look at your stomach when you roll back, but then you've got to get your neck on top of your spine when you come up. 2 more. Inhale back, and exhale up. 1 more. Inhale back, and exhale up. See if you can balance. Bring your legs together, and hold them in the air as you slide down. We're going to go right into the corkscrew. Just the level 1 corkscrew with your head staying nice and anchored, and your hips are on the mat, flat. You're at a nice right angle. Press those arms down. We take a little circle to the right and center. And circle to the left and center. So the hips are going to move. What doesn't move is everything from the waist up. Press those arms firmly down, pull your stomach in, and you just make a little circle around the hips. Heels stay together. 1 more. Strengthening the waist. And center. Bend the knees into the chest. Come up to sitting. So the corkscrew is having you move from the waist down. The saw is going to move from the waist up. So we start in the same position you were in for spine stretch, forward. Reach your arms out to the side. Make sure, again, you're not arching or sinking. If you have to bend your knees a little bit, that's fine. But really stretch those arms right to the sides of the room. We take a big inhale as we rotate. As you exhale, you're going to reach that left arm towards your right foot and scoop up and over that leg, twisting from the waist. And sit up nice and tall. We go the other way. Inhale to twist. Exhale, scoop and reach those arms away from each other. And come back up tall. Now, I'm going to put my back to you because the biggest pitfall of the saw is not letting your hips come off. So keep those hips down. Inhale as you twist. Push that left hip down and twist. Keep your hips even on the mat. And sit up nice and tall. And again, inhale. Exhale. Keep that right hip down as you stretch. Work the opposition of the body. Lift up tall. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, scoop and stretch as deeply as you can. Lift up tall and inhale. Exhale, reach the arm towards the foot, but keep that right hip on the mat. And lift up tall and rest. Okay, we move on to the prone series. All of these exercises are great for your back. A couple of things you need to be mindful of. When you're on your stomach, you want to make sure that you're always pulling your stomach muscles up towards your spine, squeezing your bottom, and lengthening your legs. All of those things are going to protect your lower back. Your forehead is down. You have your hands wider than your mat. Especially if your back is tight or tender, you want those hands a little wider and a little more forward, so you're going to give yourself more support. We are stretching and strengthening the back, always from the powerhouse. So, take a nice inhale to start. Remember, stomach up. Tighten your bottom, stretch those legs. If your feet start to cramp up, just pause and stretch in the other way, but it's good for your feet. So we're going to do a nice lift. As you exhale, take your chest forward and up. Look way up towards the top of the wall. This is where it's nice to do your mat work in front of a window so you have something to look at. Go forward and up. Lift, lift. Keep stretching those legs away from you. So you want to feel like your chest is going forward and your legs reach behind you. We're going to add on. Go forward and up. We add the neck roll. Keep pulling your stomach up off the mat. Turn your head to the right. Circle the neck around. Nothing is moving but the neck that's stretching. And turn your head to the left. Circle it around. Give yourself a nice big stretch and come down. If it's okay for your hips and knees, you're going to push back and round your back. Now, if you have knee issues, you could just do a little cat stretch here and not go all the way. If you can, sit on your heels. But you're not relaxing. You're squeezing your stomach up, squeezing your bottom towards your heels and stretching your back. You can also reach around and grab your heels for a little extra stretch. Come all the way back down onto your mat. And we have the single leg kick. I'm going to do this today with palms down. You could also do it with a fist if you like the feeling of your arms in that position. So we want to make sure the elbows are under the shoulders. If you're too close, you're going to be hunching. So you want to make sure that you're nice and lifted. You should look like the Sphinx in Egypt, which is not schlumpy. So look forward, lift up, make sure your belly's not hanging on the mat. Pull it up and tighten your bottom. Now, bend the knee. If your knees are not so good, you probably only want to go a little bit and then reach it back out. This is for the hamstring. So you're squeezing the back of your thigh up into that nice tight seat. This is not just flinging and bending. Squeeze it. And then if your knees are fine, you can add a double pulse. Squeeze, squeeze, reach. Keep that nice lift through the body. Right up through the top of your head, squeeze, squeeze, reach, squeeze, squeeze. Imagine there's a little ball under your tush and you're trying to squish it. And one more. And rest. Now we have the double leg kick. So turn your head to face me first. Cheek is on the mat. If this bothers your neck, it's just a neck stretch, but if it bothers you, you can do the whole thing with your head down, forehead on the mat. Otherwise, turn to face me. Put your hands behind your back. Be mindful of your shoulders. We want to put one hand on top of the other if you can. Slide them as high up on your back as you can, and then reach those elbows nice and wide to get a good stretch. Both knees are going to come together. Remember, people whose knees don't bend really well, you're going to just do a slow one where you can. We don't want it to hurt your knees. If your knees are fine, you do 3 pulses. Here we go, 3 pulses. 1, 2, 3. Slide your hands back. If you can hook your thumbs and open up your chest, that would be the goal. But if not, just take your hands along the sides. I'll do that on the next one. 1, 2, 3. Just slide your hands along your body and reach where you can. So the goal is not necessarily that your legs come off the mat. If they stay down and that feels better to you, you just want to feel that stretch. And the biggie is make sure those hips stay down. You don't want your butt popping up when you do this. Squeeze it. 1, 2, 3. And reach, 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 and come down. Sit back again, round where you can. If you can sit all the way back onto your heels, pull your stomach up. This is also a place where you could tuck your toes under if that's okay on your feet, and give yourself a nice little stretch. And now we're going to flip over and go into the neck pull. So let's start our neck pull sitting up tall. The neck pull is a variation on the roll-up that you did earlier. It's just a little more challenging because your hands are behind your head. It's called the neck pull because we want to stretch the neck, not so much yank on it. Again, stack your hands, put them right at the base of your skull, and then bring your elbows forward a little. Not enough to collapse, but just to help you feel like that you're really engaged into your shoulder joint. And now we're going to stretch the neck by lifting the neck up and forward, chin to the chest. From here, roll down to your waist, and then come back up. If you get stuck, it's okay to hold on, and then put your hands back where you can. Lift up out of your waist and reach your elbows towards the mat. Lift the elbows up, push your back up. That's a nice stretch for your back and your neck. And then bring the elbows forward again, chin to the chest, and we roll down. And again, curl it up. Keep scooping like you did on your roll-up. Lift those elbows high and wide. Push yourself up. That's a great stretch for your neck. Bring the elbows forward, chin to the chest. You're stretching your neck long and curl down. We're going to do it one more time. Curl deep. Up and over the waist. Elbows wide. Push it up. Lift up tall. And bring the elbows forward, and this time you're going to roll all the way down. And rest. At this point in the mat, I like to throw in the bridging because I think it feels good on your back after you've just done the neck pull. It's not in the traditional order, but I often do it this way in my classes. So for bridging, you want your arms to be long again. Remember, every time your arms are on the mat, they're nice and solid and anchored, and you have just a little space between your knees, so your knees and your feet are in line with your hips, and your feet are forward of your knees. So pull the stomach in, take your gaze a little forward towards your kneecaps, so that means your neck is long, your shoulders are down. You're going to start by exhaling and pulling those lower abs in, squeeze your bottom, and just curl your tailbone up, peeling your spine off the mat until you get to a nice diagonal line. You want to watch that you're not sticking your ribs out here. And then roll back down. Make sure you get your tailbone all the way forward so you're nice and flat in the pelvis, and we'll just do that 2 more times. Pull the stomach in. It's just a nice stretch for the back. You're articulating your spine. You're getting a stretch across the shoulders as well if you keep those arms pressing down. So you're making sure that as you scoop the abdominals, the shoulders don't round forward. And 1 more. Roll it up. And roll it back down. And then just hug your knees into your chest. It just feels nice on your back. So now we're going to move on to the side series. You can decide what leg you want to start with based on how you're facing me. So I'm going to face you first. Side series is more challenging because now we're asking you to balance on the side of you where there is less to balance on. So you want to use your mat to get yourself ready. You should be lined up with the back edge of your mat so you know you're straight. This arm is in line with your shoulder, so we have a nice straight line through the body. If it doesn't bother your neck or your shoulder, ideally you would bend that elbow and place that hand behind your head. Again, that nice straight palm that we've been working on in other places, like you just did on the neck pull as a matter of fact. If this bothers your neck or your shoulder, then you can put your arm down, but then you're going to need the towel for your head so your head's not dropped. Alternatively, you could do this and put the towel under your head. You just want to support your alignment. This other arm is in front of you. For balance a little, don't put a lot of pressure on it, but also to remind you to keep your stomach pulled in and your shoulders are braced. The legs come to the front edge of your mat. Now, flex that bottom foot like you're standing on it and feel how stable you are. You're going to try to keep that heel down as much as you can. The top leg is a little bit off the mat so that you're in line with your hip joint, and then rotate it slightly because we want to work the back of the thigh, right? If you're in parallel, you're not going to feel that. So rotate it a little bit. It's not in your knee, it's in the hip joint. And you feel the back of the thigh and the bottom working. And we're going to swing to the front, only where your hips are stable. And then we go to the back. And here's your challenge for that bottom leg. You got 2 legs and they're both working. Forward and back. And everything is stable. Your goal is to not move your torso as you move your leg. We'll do 1 more. And stretch it back, not a lot of rolling around on the hip, and come together. Try to put your heel as close to the arch of your bottom foot as you can, and we go up with a long foot, and then reach it long. So just stretch it up, you don't want to get flingy, and reach it long. Stretch it up, and feel like that leg's coming out of your waist. Every time you come down, feel that heel gets longer on the bottom arch. 1 more, and reach. Keep that little rotation. Now make your heels touch for your little circles. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. They just lightly kiss, reverse. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Now we finish with the bicycle. Leg to the front, bend the knee into the chest, take your knee down towards the other knee, and then really stretch it back and long. And reach it to the front, knee to the chest, knee to knee behind you, stretch it more. And then watch, when that leg went back, did you start rolling on your torso? Hopefully not. Light weight in the hands, and stretch. We'll do 1 more. Forward, knee to the chest, knee to knee behind you, stretch it long, and legs together. Reverse it to the back. Bend the knee, try not to lift it, keep it in line with your hip. Knee to shoulder, stretch it out. Reach it long, stabilizing that bottom leg. And then don't forget about that hand behind your head. Every time you extend, get longer. Reach it back. Bend the knee. Bring it through. Knee to chest, stretch it out, legs together, and rest. Now we're going to do our transitional beats. You're on your stomach, forehead on your hands, stretch your legs out right and long behind you. And we have 20 beats, really squeezing the inner thighs in the bottom. Don't just bang your heels together. Lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. Then we have the other side. Again, you're lined up at the back edge of your mat. If you can put your hand behind your head, that would be great. And if that's too much on your neck or your shoulder, then your arm goes here with the towel or in front of you. Other arm is in front, legs at the front edge. We're going to try to stabilize the hips and waist and flex that bottom foot. Keep it where it is. Lift the top leg slightly, rotate it, feel the back of the thigh working, and lengthen your waist. We swing front and back, and front and back. And every time you pass through the middle, lengthen the waist. front and back. One more, front and back, and legs together. See if you can get that heel on the arch of the bottom foot as much as you can, so you're lengthening your waist. We lift up, reach it long, stretch it up, reach it long, stretch it up, long foot, long toes, reaching from the waist. One more, up, and reach it long. Now, heels touch for your circles. Forward first, front and around. 3 and 4 and 5 and pause. Reverse, just little. 3, 4, 5, together, and we finish with the bicycle. Front, knee to the chest, knee to knee, behind you, stretch. To the front, knee to the chest, knee to knee, behind you, stretch. To the front, knee to the chest, knee to knee, behind you, stretch. One more, nice long neck, not a lot of weight on that hand in front. Stretch it out and reverse. Reach it back, stretch your thigh, knee to chest, extend, stretch it long, bend, knee to chest, stretch it out. Imagine there's a pole behind you and you're going to wrap your leg around it, bring it through, and extend, get that hip down, and reach it back, and bend. So here's your opportunity to anchor your hip, knee to the chest, extend, and long. Okay, it's time for the teaser. So, you're going to lie down. Do the best you can. You've got to do 3 sets of 3. Extend your legs. Arms up. Curl and reach. And pull the stomach down. Don't put your head in between. Scoop it up. And come back down. Keep your head up. Scoop it up. And come back down, and rest. That was 1. Legs out, curl it up, and pull the stomach down. Curl it up, and pull the stomach down. Curl it up, and pull the stomach down, and bend it in. Yeah, you guys at home aren't talking while you're doing your teasers. This is hard, folks. Last one, curl it up, and pull the stomach down. Curl it up and pull the stomach down. One more. Curl it up and pull the stomach down, and you are done with the teaser. Okay, seal is next. So, this is your setup. You can do the seal with hands behind your thighs if you need to, especially for knees. However, we aspire to the classical position. Put your hands in the middle of the diamond, reach them underneath. Place them on your foot. You do not grab, you do not make monster hands. You place them. I have long arms, so my hands go on my ankles. Your hands may go somewhere else. That's fine. You want to be able to squeeze your inner thighs against your arms and balance. All right? For this one, unlike the rolling like a ball, the feet are up higher. So, as I like to say, present your feet on a silver platter to the queen. That's your image. So, we're going to start here. If you're not rolling, you just work your squeeze and hold. So if rolling isn't good for your back, that's your version of the exercise. If you're rolling, you lift your hips and you come back. And you do your squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Don't do it from the feet. This is inner thighs. Lift and come back. And if you have a good balance upside down and you can hold it, then you add your squeezes upside down. Lift your hips, your feet go over your head. 1, 2, 3, you balance. 1, 2, 3. One more. Lift your feet over your head. 1, 2, 3. And on the last one, our fancy finish is you let go and you stand up. And then we turn around. We're going to walk out into a plank and do some push-ups. If you have wrist issues, you can get yourself down into a forearm plank and hold it. Otherwise, follow me. Lift your arms up. This is where we do not stick the bottom out behind the heels. You're trying to hold on to that line, lift your stomach, and it's like we're doing the roll-up again, but now we're standing. If you can touch the floor, great. If you need to bend your knees to get there, that's okay. 4 walks out without waddling. Tighten the tush, go straight forward into your plank. Your bottom is under, you're in a straight line, heels are together, you're on the balls of your feet. Bend your elbows close to the body. Don't worry about how low you go. I can't go very low, but I feel my triceps and my powerhouse. One more. Just 3. And then walk back. Don't stick your bottom up. Pull your stomach up so there's less weight on your hands. And then we roll up and tall. We're going to finish with a little more invigorating movement to send you off on your way. These are the knee lifts. This is where you need to count. We're going to do 8 lifts with the knees in front, 8 to the side. Then we'll do 4, 4, 2, 2. So just keep up. Cross your arms, nice and tall. Only lift the knees as high as you can keep your body up. And we don't want to hear a lot of noise, so we're not banging. So here we go. We start on the right leg. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stay in the center. 6, 7, 8. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Choose. 1, 2. Side. 1, 2. Front. 1, 2. Side. 1, 2. Rest. Parallel. Let's stretch it out. Little swing around the back. Stretch up top. Little swing around the back. Keep the stomach lifted so you're not hanging in your back. 2 more. This should feel nice. Stretch. 1 more. Stretch. Just bring the heels together. Press tall. Taller. Longer. Leaner. There's your posture. I had a great workout. I hope you did too. Let's stay in touch. Stay safe, everybody. Go clean your mats and your hands. Bye.